All right, let's talk about something we've all experienced, and maybe not in a good way, the dreaded presentation. Today, we're going to explore how to transform that painful chore into what could be one of your most powerful communication tools. And we're drawing our ideas straight from Nancy Duarte's fantastic book, Slideology. Guy Kawasaki just hits the nail on the head, right? I mean, we all know that feeling he's talking about. It's that classic death by PowerPoint. But here's the thing. It's not just about being bored for an hour. It could actually be holding you back in your career. Oh, that sinking feeling. It is so universal. The lights go down, the presenter turns their back to you to start reading from the screen, and you just feel your soul slowly leaving your body as the bullet points pop up one by one. This is a real problem, and it has a real impact. It even has a name. Yeah, career suicide. It sounds a little extreme, but think about it. The real culprit here isn't the software. It's not PowerPoint's fault. It's a deep misunderstanding of what a slide is even for. And because of that, we create this weird hybrid monster that doesn't really help anyone. And that monster is called a slide document. You get it? A slide that's also a document. It's trying to be two things at once: a dense, readable report and a presentation visual. And you know what? It fails miserably at both. The most important thing to grasp is the difference between something you read and something you experience. And this, right here, is the absolute key distinction. A document, it's meant to stand on its own. You can email it to someone, they can read it, it's self-explanatory. But a presentation slide, its only job is to support you, the speaker. Now here's the part you can't forget. Your audience will either read your crowded slides or they will listen to you speak. They cannot, I repeat, cannot do both at the same time. So how do we fix this? Well, we need a whole new way of thinking about slides, a new slide ideology. And to do that, we first need to get a little perspective by looking back in time. Because using visuals to communicate, well, that's nothing new. I mean, from ancient cave paintings to the great Greek orators, we have always used visuals to tell stories and make a point. PowerPoint is just the most recent tool in a really, really long line. So the tool has never been the problem. It's always been about how we use it. Seth Godin says it so well here. If it's just about the facts and figures, do everyone a favor, cancel the meeting, and just send the report. A presentation is for creating a connection. And that connection doesn't start with your data. It starts by focusing completely on who you're talking to. So how do you actually build that foundation? It all starts by answering these 4 questions before you even dream of creating a single slide. This is how you make sure your message is not just delivered, but that it's actually heard and, received. So once you know your audience inside and out, the next critical step is probably the opposite of what you'd think. It's not to open your laptop, it's to step away from the technology completely. At this stage, your best friends are the simple things: paper, pens, sticky notes, maybe a whiteboard. And why is that? Well, because these tools don't have menus. They don't have font choices or formatting options to distract you. They are just pure, simple containers for your ideas. The goal here is not about quality. It's about quantity. You want to generate as many ideas as possible. Little doodles, words, diagrams, just get it all out there before you even think about filtering. This is where the raw material, the good stuff for your presentation, really comes from. It happens long before you worry about making anything look pretty. Okay, now you've got all your ideas. Now it's time to start arranging them. And to do this, you have to start thinking like a designer. And for a designer, one of the most powerful tools is actually what you choose to leave out. So this is the biggest mistake we all make, right? We just pack our slides with stuff. Every corner is filled. We get rid of all the empty space, what designers call white space. And without that visual breathing room, the audience just gets overwhelmed. They have no idea where they're supposed to focus. Now look at that. What a difference. It's the same core message, but by stripping away the clutter, it suddenly has impact. It's clearer, it's more confident. Remember this, a slide's value doesn't come from how much you cram onto it. It comes from how clearly it communicates. White space gives your ideas room to breathe.
Your next design tool is contrast. Look at the left side. Your eye just kind of wanders, right? But on the right, bam, your eye is instantly drawn to that one important phrase. That's contrast doing its job. You're using size and color not just to decorate, but to actually guide your audience's attention right where you want it.
So, when you bring all this together, this audience-first approach plus these simple design principles, something kind of magical happens. You stop just making slides, and you start telling stories. And stories, well, they can have a truly profound impact. And if you're thinking, come on, a presentation can't really change the world, well, there is one perfect, undeniable example that proves it absolutely can.
And that example is an inconvenient truth. Before it was an Oscar-winning movie, it was a slideshow. It was a deck that Al Gore built and delivered over and over and over again. He used these very principles of visual storytelling to turn a simple presentation into a global movement that literally changed the conversation around the world.
So as we wrap up, the success of that slideshow really proves Nancy Duarte's point. This whole thing isn't about making pretty pictures. It's about respecting your message. It's about respecting your audience. And it's about treating every single presentation like the high-stakes opportunity that it really is. So please, don't just deliver data anymore. Don't just make slides. Tell a story. Tell a story that connects with people, that clarifies your point, and inspires them to take action. The next time you stand up to speak, you have a high-stakes opportunity. What story will you tell?